Hey guys, it's Cole here with Shield Industrial Coatings. Just wanted to bring you a quick Tech Tip Tuesday and talk about what not to do with your pumps and what to do with your pumps. So in this case, this pump here was pulled out directly out of chemical. It wasn't flushed properly. It wasn't maintenance properly. We were asked to rebuild it, but in this case, it's so far gone that it would cost as much to rebuild it as it would be to just replace it. So as you can see, the hardened ISO has kind of taken over everything. All the seals are going to be destroyed. There's a check ball on the bottom of this thing that's obviously locked up. Not a whole lot we can do here. The air section would probably still be good. I mean, it's not affected by the lower end, which is a common misconception. Everybody thinks that the top plays a factor with the bottom when they're getting into it, but the top is completely separate. From this point down is all chemical. From this point up is all air. So they're two separate units. I can disconnect this and take it and use it for another pump if I needed to. But in this case, what we would do in this situation in order to keep this pump in good functioning order is we would pull it directly out of our isocyanate and we would chase it with acetone directly first. So you take the pump, put it obviously not in a can, but put it in something that you can put acetone in, like a 5-gallon bucket. Turn the air on slowly, have it slowly pump out the acetone so you're getting that isocyanate out of it, and then we would transfer from that into hydraulic fluid, and hydraulic fluid will flush out the rest of it, and you can store it like that forever. But since this one wasn't done, it's too far gone again. So we'll got to go back to what we would do in this situation. Once we're flushed, everything's good and prime and clean, and we're ready to rock and roll. We can stay like that forever.
How often should you clean your pumps?
So you don't necessarily have to clean the pumps as long as they're completely unsubmerged or completely sealed off from the outside air. And it's not air that attacks isocyanate, it's the humidity in the air. So if you've got a bad seal on your lid and your drum, or you've got it completely exposed to air, then isocyanate is going to do what it naturally wants to do and harden up.
So you don't have to do any maintenance to the pumps?
You don't typically have to do any maintenance to the lower section of the pump. It's either going to work or it's not. Sometimes at the very bottom of the pump, you'll suck in trash on that check ball. And it could be something small, but if that ever does happen, the pump's going to misfire on a stroke. So you'll skip a step. Basically, it'll mismeter on one side and you'll hear it. And if that does happen, you simply just pull it out, clean the bottom of that ball, and that's it. As far as the air section goes, what I typically do is I'll take the TSL, the throat seal lubricant that we use for our isocide pump on the machine, and put a couple drops in it daily, and that should keep this pump lasting forever. All the O-rings and seals in here ought to stay active. The only thing that could really go wrong in this particular pump would be the conjugal springs on the top. They do collapse a little bit, so over time they wear down. That's about it. I mean, they last years. So keep putting TSL on everything. TSL is your friend. It's a lubricant. It's designed to keep everything running smooth as far as air goes. So that's why I stick with TSL. You already got it. Might as well use it.
Sweet.